Hello, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another week of the Dio Dre and Beyond podcast. It's your boy IODO,
Handsome man Andre.
and we're back again discussing. Did I say
Video
dis-
game.
Did I say disgusting or discussing? I have no idea.
I thought you said
Yeah,
disgusting. I was ready to just get into it. And I was like, oh, we're agitating.
I'm
What
like,
happened?
I had no idea what words I just said. Anyway, we're discussing video games. Yeah, again, but
Okay.
I got this topic from RDC World. Shout out to them. They're big in the video game and anime community amongst like the African American community. So much love to them. Cash Money Mark and the boys. But recently on their latest back and forth, that their form of a podcast, they discussed video games then and now, and
hmm
like which one's better, did video games ever improve. So I just thought maybe we can visit that topic today and get people's insight on what do they think about video games then and now. So
Yeah.
so Dre, what's your thoughts? How you feel about video games then and now? Do you feel like
Mm.
video games improved, still improving? Do you think it peaked back in the day? And when I say then, I mean like I would say a good date would be like pre 2010 for like past video games. I feel like after
Yeah.
2010, games really started to like improve with graphics and things like that and look and feel. So, like pre 2010 to now, like
Yeah. Well, I would say that yeah, for sure. Like, there's been like a major improvement that's happened, like from then to now, because we all remember the blocky graphics that would show up with like any game,
yeah,
and quite frankly, I still remember like how we all thought it was just so revolutionary at the time, like just seeing how it looked and everything. I still remember like some of the old games I've seen back then, like some wrestling games where it was literally just them like superimposing like a picture of like the wrestler, like to get their likeness on the model that they had, and that was the likeness.
yeah,
That was it. To fast forward to now, where we actually can modify or render it down and actually have the model look like what it should be, and not have to like superimpose a picture or anything. It's long steps ahead. Like if you look at Uncharted, even like see like how great like the scenery looks in the game, like and like when it was on PS4, like it's amazing.
yeah. I
Like
just started actually the Uncharted series, finished the first game, and then even I just got to the second, and even from the first to the second, there's like a whole lot of improvement
mm-hmm.
right there. Like it's way more smoother to play, and like a lot of the bugs is like taken out and stuff like that. So like just from that little jump from one to two, you can see improvement in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like like the quality is just amazing. Like it really is.
But at the end of the day, like as you get to like the future stuff, like I feel like you should expect graphics to increase. Like that should be an expectation of futuristic things. Like you
Yes.
definitely don't want to go backwards. Like a, a good example with that is like Minecraft right now. Minecraft, you
Mhm.
could say, has been a past and future game. It has been there
Yeah.
for a very, very, very long time.
Mhm.
Minecraft in the past did not look good at all. It was, it's pixels, but it was like ultra pixels back in the day. It was ugly, and honestly, I didn't want to bother with it.
Nick, I was wondering
Now,
how you would describe that.
yeah,
Yeah.
now even with this still the like the pixelated look, you could still
mhm.
see the improvement within the game. Like it's actually prettier when you look at it. Like
Mhm.
rain looks better, snow looks better, the environment around you looks better. Like the graphic packs is just like amazing for that game from where it was to where it is now. Like that's a good example of a game that's had its foot in the past and still in the future and years to come from now.
Hmm.
Because everyone still is going to play Minecraft. It's just the game, honestly.
Yeah, it's one of those games that just hasn't really died out. It just keeps moving forward.
It's one of those games that will probably never die out, honestly, because like even like younger kids still get into it, and then you have adults still playing it, and adults showing their kids Minecraft. It's just so much to the game that you can do with that it's hard for it to go away.
And that's another thing, though. Just speaking of like how like Minecraft, like well, design is essentially set up. Like it's the purpose of like being blocky and stuff like that. Like that. That's like purposeful.
Yeah,
And it's a matter of like how you design it to make it still look good despite that deliberate design. And it does bring like a whole bunch of like what was before and stuff like that. Like, and it's a matter of even though we've improved on graphic detail and we can easily like for like Minecraft could have easily just moved away from that, try something different. But like again, like that's part of what the game was. That was part of its features, that kind of features.
yeah,
Much to like another game like Project Zomboid, like it it has a bit of a blocky style. Well, I wouldn't say blocky, but it's definitely like a bit of a older style of how it looks, but still has great detail towards it in terms of what you can do in there, and it's not done in a way where it just looks like oh it's unappealing. Like it's quite interactive, to be honest. It really challenges you.
yeah,
So it's one of those things that you have to also think about. Like yes, game has like upped its ante in quality, but also the quality of the game in itself, not just graphics.
yeah,
Because you
definitely.
can
Like
have yeah.
if you have like a newer game now that doesn't have the graphics like let's say a Call of Duty would have, then you bring like people in with the gameplay. Then like what
Hmm.
are you doing in the game if it doesn't look pretty? Like and if you have a fun game, people are still going to play it
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
entertaining.
Yeah, because there's all these stuff you can like man, the excess stuff that you can do in there is ridiculous. I've never felt like I had to survive more so in a survival game like Project Zomboid.
Yeah, Project
No
Zomboid
more
is a
than
perfect example of that. Like it's not it's it's pretty in its own way, but you know it's not like high tech graphics
yeah,
or
yeah,
anything.
not at
But
all. Yeah.
its gameplay, it shines in its gameplay with all the things you could do in it and how
Mhm.
you can interact with a bunch of different things.
Yep.
Like it's a true survival game.
Exactly. Like that is one of those beautiful parts about it. Like you can have other games that are survival games and you may not feel the same pull to it.
Yeah, you
You
have
may not feel the
some
same pull.
survival games where it's just like running gun, and it's like
Mhm.
you're not really surviving. It's just who has the most ammo. That's not really
Yeah.
survival. So that plays into like how is like besides like graphics and stuff, how is like gameplay between old and new games then and now?
Well, from my point of view, I mean, it has gone up. It's changed. It's. I feel like before. Granted, yes, you would. I guess it would be difficult, be challenging. Like you would have to go on with that because who knows? Maybe back in those days, they knew the quality they have wasn't really crazy. Like they knew that what they have wasn't exactly great, so you had to try and really pitch a strong idea that could really attract people. Like, much to like how I guess in my opinion how it started with Grand Theft Auto. Like
Yeah,
you had to have a good idea to pitch. Quality was not that great, and it started off on like on like small footing, and eventually it just slowly grew into what we know it as today in terms of gameplay.
yeah,
Now again, back to like another thing I mentioned to like challenging. So games, as we know back then, they were definitely challenging. Finishing a game was an accomplishment. You felt an accomplishment, right?
yeah,
Now, fast forward to today. Now, it's not to say that that has disappeared. You still have plenty of games out there that I'm sure of that you will still have difficulty playing. Just a matter of like up in the difficulty level. That's just simply it. and it'll be that much more challenging or interesting. It's just like with some games, maybe the idea itself isn't like what it was before. Maybe it just feels like it's just a rendition of something else that you've played already. So now it's a question of, well, who did it better?
Yeah,
You know?
because like newer games now, nothing is really innovative. Is because it's like you have a design of past games that you're working off of, and looking back to the past, you know what works in a game, and you know what you
Yeah.
want. So like innovation of a game isn't really there right now. But like
Hmm.
I would say, I would still say like maybe gameplay back in the day is a little better due to like the difficulty it was playing it, because like
Hmm.
today I feel like a lot of things is handed to you in games.
A
If
little bit, yeah.
like you're handed a lot of things. Like they make it easy for you. Like they give you this, they give you that. Most of them give you like tutorials. Not saying older games didn't give you a tutorial, but like newer games, like you're probably going to go through like 2 levels of tutorial before you get to like actually doing anything.
Yeah.
Um, Older games didn't really hold your hand like that. They kind of just threw you in and said, "Well, here's a controller, here's a map, go
Well,
figure that out."
they would give you like the booklet, like if I remember, like in terms of just like like
Yeah,
they give
yeah,
you some kind of idea,
they
a
gave.
booklet to kind of controls.
Yeah,
That's about
yeah, they
it.
they gave you a booklet on the like the inputs,
Yeah, the
but
inputs.
like,
I mean, they give you that. Like,
but as of like gameplay, they like just toss you right into the fire and be
and,
like,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Go figure
yeah,
go
exactly.
figure that out." You're a child, but you're gonna have to learn survival skills eventually.
And maybe
Like,
as you're playing, like you'll see like a little blip. Oh, to do this, you have to press this. Oh well, you didn't tell me that before.
yeah, once
Like
you
yeah,
die 5 times,
yeah.
then a prompt pops up. That happened when I was playing Uncharted. Friggin'
Mhm.
I had to fail something like 5 times before they'd be like, "Yo, maybe you should look here." I'm like, "Well,
Oh man. Now
thank thank you."
Speaking of Uncharted, that's another thing too. Like if anything, Uncharted didn't really change itself too much in terms of puzzles and the like. That's the one that I'll admit doesn't seem to have changed. I commend them on that because I admittedly have stayed stuck on a puzzle to the point where they literally said, "Hey, ain't no shame in you having to just move past this puzzle." Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
how bad it got.
that happened to me on one puzzle. Friggin' I was playing, and then it was pointing me to something. I stood there for like 10 minutes looking at the same thing. Like, what am I supposed to be looking at?
Yeah.
Is something supposed to be here? Then I just left. I'm like, you
And
know
of
what?
course, my stubborn self would refuse because my pride was on the line at this point. Like, no, no, I ain't gonna skip this. What am I gonna tell my friends that nah, I just skipped it. Nah, I gotta solve it now.
Yeah, everyone goes through the same thing. First, they want to do it. Then they get prideful, and then it's just like, wow, I'm not wasting my time no more.
Yeah, well, I definitely took my time with that shit. I did not care. Like,
Like,
I was solving it. I
facts.
did. Took a while though, but I solved it.
Facts. Even like you especially see the difference in like challenge when it comes to like Pokemon then and now.
Ah, yeah.
Pokemon now is like you start out, they be like, oh, here's 50 Pokeballs. Go out and catch whatever you want. Let me tell you about something about Pokemon back in the day.
Hmm.
You go and get 5 Pokeballs. The level 5 Pokemon will hit crits on you, and you're gonna have to figure it out because Pokemon back in the day, like Fire Red and like Gold and all them, they do not give handouts. Like you have to like find everything on your own. You have to train. Like you especially have to train.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hmm.
Like the AI is very intelligent in how they do the Pokemon battles and stuff. It's like Pokemon back in the day was very difficult.
Like you may find like a pattern, like yeah, not to mention like not to say like they wouldn't follow a particular pattern. Like let's say if you're going against like for me when I was playing Crystal, I went against Red, right?
Yeah.
Now, generally, there may be like a pattern that you may see happen, like where they order the Pokemon that he sends out, right?
Yep.
And you think like, all right, I got this pattern. I faced it before. I lost. All right, now I know what to do. Now you don't know what the odds are of him switching up a moveset on you that just throws your whole thing off. I still remember like how much damage I took the first time I went against him. I think what was I fighting? I think I was fighting like Snorlax, and like then all of nowhere like it does crit.
Exactly. Like
Like it now it does more damage than it did last. I didn't expect that. I was prepared for something else, and now I had to brute force my way through it, and I had to fight him again because I ended up losing because like it got me off guard. Like I didn't know what else to do. So it happens.
the
It
crits
does
are
happen.
ridiculous in the past Pokemon games. That's the one thing you will never predict, but will always happen.
Hmm.
Just
Best you
recently,
can
I was like doing a Nuzlocke,
do.
had a zigzag going. My man Zag.
Hmm.
I get hit. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, tackle, tackle. I'm like, then it's close. Like I have like beginning of my yellow. This dude, my Pokemon misses, and then I get hit with a crit, and he dies. That easy. I'm here like,
Hmm.
the two things that wasn't supposed to happen happened. Those old Pokemon games are just unforgiving. They capitalize on all your mistakes. These new Pokemon games, except for Arceus, Arceus is kind of difficult because it's new and it's different and like it has different
Hmm.
mechanics. It actually,
Yeah.
Arceus is actually an innovative game that just recently came out
Hmm.
because you're not running through like a normal Pokemon game. You actually
No,
like
no.
you have to survive the game and then like you're researching all these Pokemon because like you're just discovering them.
Yeah. Exactly. Like it's pretty much as if like you're just going through it for the first time, essentially, like in the history of it. Like so.
Yeah, but it feels like at some points it feels like they baby you at times, but it's like they're not because like you actually kind of need some of the items that they are handing to you. Like I would say Pokemon Arceus is like a 9 out of 10 game because it's pretty difficult and it's fun and it's new.
Hmm. Exactly. I agree. Like ah.
I
What? I mean,
think
for
that
Pokemon game, I
I,
don't know.
I think the main issue with newer games is like everyone tries to copy someone now. Like
It's
back in
not even just
like
copying. It's not even just copying. It's like it's more of like capitalizing on
what's
a
good.
game type. Yeah,
Yeah,
like the biggest example right now is battle royales.
that's
Like
exactly what I was getting to.
yeah, like
Battle royales.
biggest example because like how I can think like what was it like 2019, 2020. Like we were just on the rise of battle royales. There were so many battle royales coming out at once. Like there was so many. I mean, it's come to a point where even people are trying to monopolize on first person shooters too, since like battle royals tend to run on that function for some of them anyway.
Yeah,
So because first person shooters also came on the rise. Now you got companies buying up other companies that have popular games that specialize in that. So now that's exactly what's going on. Like people are trying to just cash in on games that seem to be popular.
you gotta strike while the iron's hot. Cause like
Yeah.
if this game got a battle royale and you're a shooting game and you don't have one, it's like what are you doing?
Yeah, you
You're
have to
not.
make that happen.
You have to figure out some way or form to like get that battle royale in there.
Yeah, and there
But
are some that definitely excel and do great. And then,
there's some where you just see. There's some of them where you just see like they're just doing it just to do it
well, yeah,
because it's not thought
exactly.
out. It's like clunky and like there's no real meaning to what's happening. It's like they just throw you into a battle ring and say, "Well, shoot someone."
Yeah, it's like for example, this one barrel that showed up was I think what was it called? Spellbreak.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I tried
Yeah,
Spell Break a little bit. I didn't really like it.
yeah. Like it came out, it was on the rise for a bit because of the fact that it was using you were using magic and you were doing all
Yeah.
these kind of things in a battle royale. It's the idea sounds nice. It really did. It really sounded nice. But then now you don't hear about it. You don't hear about it
Yeah,
at
I
all. It
heard
just
about
kind
it
of just faded.
like last year I heard about it for like a few like maybe a month that people was playing it. And I did try it, but then like I don't know, it just didn't feel good.
Yeah. And this is not to say the same thing that happened with Apex, in my opinion. Apex Legends. Like I remember hearing when it first came out, like when people were talking about it, and like playing, like, oh yeah, no, it's something to get into, I guess, and like some people were interested and they stayed with it all the way through. Some people like me, like I looked at it and I was like, what, not really interested. And then you didn't really hear about it till like later on, where just eventually it was catching steam, like more and more. It was being talked about again and again. It was getting streamed more again and again, and now it's right up there with battle royales. Like if you
You
talk about
wanna know
battle royales,
why
you
that happened?
talk about Apex. Why would that happen? Why did that
That Apex rose again because there was a point where Apex did like kind of die out.
happen?
It rose again because Call of Duty was on its nonsense. Call of
Oh,
Duty Call of Duty promised a new map for like a year and a half, and they did not deliver. They kept giving out like, "Oh, this update," and everyone's looking for this new map, and they kept pushing it back and pushing it back, and then all of a sudden, you start to get bugs in the game because now you have like two different Call of Duties plus the original like Modern Warfare Battle Royale. Now you adding two more Call of Duty games without even like doing anything. So now you have bugs in it. And
yep.
then and then not to mention there was a problem with hackers for a while where like
Mm,
people was in these major tournaments and they're still getting hacked and getting like sniped from across the map. So like every like streamer or major like pro player who was playing Call of Duty then migrated to Apex, in which now more people streaming Apex. Now Apex is now again on the rise.
yeah, yeah, got a point.
So I would say the rise of Apex again was due to the lack of innovation of Call of Duty, and like they was kind of riding that they was the best battle royale for a little too long.
I can understand some of that. I can believe that. But I will say, like, another reason too that could also be the fact of just, well, for Apex, I will admit, like, there are some features that you're not really gonna. Well, you could see in other battle royales, but there is a uniqueness to it that does call to other people
Oh,
at the
of
very
course.
least. So it did help. But yeah, I will admit that. Yeah, like honestly, like if another game starts falling off, that it just makes it all the more easier for another one to just sweep right
Of
in
course,
and just
like
yeah.
I'm not even like trying to put down Apex. Apex is a great game. Like it's a different feel than Call of Duty because it's faster paced and then, like you're doing like a different. It's a whole nother type of technique that you need to even play that game. So I'm not downplaying Apex, but like if if one person falls, someone has to grow because if you're like a person who loves first person shooters and battle royales and one of them is not giving you what you need, you're just going to find another one.
Hmm.
And Apex
Exactly.
was like in Apex as being a solid game already, it was easy just to migrate over there.
Yeah.
A la freaking Nick Merckx. Like he played he always played like he went from Fortnite when that was like high, then
Yeah.
he went to Call of Duty for a very long time, and then like once like Call of Duty started to like die off, he went to Apex.
Yeah. Nah, his mass following's there now.
Yeah, Apex is like thriving right now, and it's understandably so. But
Hmm.
that's just not every. But the point is, like, not everyone can pull off a battle royale,
Oh, not at all. No.
but everyone tries.
Hmm.
because that's what's in right now until a new shiny toy is going to show up.
Which honestly doesn't seem to be the case right now. If I was to be honest, like I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon where I'm gonna see that. Like where something really overtakes it. Doesn't seem like it. Like I thought maybe like an MMORPG that's like really in there that's just gonna like kind of foreshadow it. But we're talking about another type of gameplay overshadowing another.
See,
Like
that's
that's a lot on its own. Like just the idea of it alone. Like because mind you, we're talking about you forfeiting a style of game
you
for
would
another.
think like you would have thought like I think I think Genshin Impact was supposed to be that.
Hmm. Mm, I
They wanted it to be that,
it wanted to.
but of course that fell a little short too. I mean, it's an alright game. I mean, I liked it. I liked it. I played it for like 2 months straight, but
Okay.
but it didn't have the lasting power as a battle royale does.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. Yeah, 'cause it wouldn't have that last effect. Cause like,
And always,
well, it's different. I don't know. It really is the fact that it's different. That's the first thing.
yeah, and I always feel like s- if a game were to take over like an MMO or something like that, you would go to freaking something like an older type of game because those are still around.
Hmm.
So creating a new MMO that's like that everyone wants to play is pretty hard to do. I mean, what what was the new one that came out? New World?
Oh yeah, New World.
Like what was your thoughts on that when you first played it?
Now, New World, I'll admit, like that did feel a bit different. It was because it was the fact that we're not talking about. Oh, I'm a wizard. I'm I'm a just what is it like a warrior class? Yeah, I'm not anything really. I'm just a person choosing what skill sets I want to take on. That's legit. That was the first thing that kind of got me. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not anything like that. Like for example, like if you, like, 'cause if you play any other game, for example, like Black Desert Online, right?
Yeah.
Like you have all these different classes of people you can choose. Granted, their customization is by far off the charts. I've never seen another game have that kind of in-depth customization ever. You can
Yeah.
literally spend like hours on the customization. However, the gameplay does still follow the general type of which class you're going, which is not a problem. It's just a matter of like, do you have the content in there to make people forget about how generic you are to everyone else that does the same thing? So with New World, which was Amazon Games like real attempt in getting out there, they decided to go for something different. Let's not give people classes. Let's just say everyone's a human and you can choose what you want to do. Do you want to take up guns? All right, so we have some guns. You got musket. By the way, this is set into like what I think 1500s.
Something like that.
Yeah, so you're gonna have like these particular weapons. It's not like something high tech. It's just very old, very simple. You have your bow and arrow. You have the ability to use a staff for magic. You have ice gauntlets, and it's not a matter of like you. And that's another thing too. Like you, if you want to do particular types of magic, like you want to do fire or ice, you gotta have particular item to do
Yeah.
that type of magic with. You can't just do it like how you would in other games where you're a mage, so you just know all types of whatever
Yeah.
type of elements you want to utilize.
Yeah. New World was definitely like I thought what they did very well was like even like the money system type of thing, like the merit system, like
Hmm.
where you had to like go to different locations and then like in that certain location you get to level up that area and
Hmm.
then like you get to like be a part of their community and see how they live and stuff like that. That was actually unique, I think. Like
Yeah,
I
very
I
unique.
I
Yeah.
never really played something like that where you actually had to be in the area to level up.
Exactly.
So
Like
that that was
that was
different.
hmm that was very good. I like that.
I like New World. New World was good, but why aren't we playing it?
Well, again, like
Why?
not, yeah,
Why?
like it's
That's the
very
question.
good.
Why aren't we playing it?
Yeah, like besides the fact of just simply being busy,
Oh yeah,
like
life.
yeah. So it's just a matter of like other game types that just happen to overshadow it. Or like there's just other mechanics in the game that just make you gravitate towards that more so eventually over time. And that's gonna be a given for a lot of games generally because there's gonna be this new game experience, right? That new game feel.
Yeah,
It's like just akin to like having a new car smell. You have a new game feel where you're gonna play this new game you have. Now it doesn't have to say be a new game that came out. It could also be a game that you just got into, that you just got. You're
yeah,
gonna play it out for a certain amount of time, right? You're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be on. This is awesome. No, this is the shit right here." Then after a certain amount of time, depending on the person's own endurance level for that game, they're gonna just stop playing it all of a sudden. Like you're not gonna hear him talk about it as much. They just kind of weaned off of it into one of the other games that just happened to be a mainstay to. Like no matter, and there's always gonna be a game that people tend to fall back to. For me, well, for a time it used to be League of Legends. Like I would try a whole bunch of games. But at the end of the day, I would always end up going back to League of Legends and just spending a bunch of hours on it.
yeah,
Now it's Apex. Now for me, it's Apex. Like I could try a bunch of other games. I'm gonna be on those games for quite some time. I've spent hours on other games, like for like for each day. And then after a while, I would take a break, chill out, and then I haven't gone back to the game. You think I'll go back to the game? I would think about it. Then all of a sudden, I just gravitate right back to Apex. It happens because that gameplay is a style that I can easily just run back into and just play and not think about anything.
yeah. It's not even to say like, oh, well, I'm never gonna play New World again or anything like that.
Exactly.
Because, like I said, I be thinking about New World sometimes. Like I could easily like open the game again and play it because it's a good game.
Yeah.
But like I have, for me, I feel like I have an oversaturation of games
Yeah.
because I have a lot of games like I'm willing to try now because I'm not stuck into like one type of game anymore. Like I play
Mhm.
like before I
Exactly.
used to play like sports games and first person shooters and things like that and I think I'm damn good at them. But now I'm trying like new games like adventure games. I do co-op games with Sky and things like that. So
Mhm.
like
Exactly.
so now and like I'm more into doing those types of things and trying out new games now instead of sticking to just one game. And then when you're doing that, choices have to be made. Like
Exactly.
you're not going to be able to play every little thing like in
You're
a
just not.
given month or something like that.
Yeah. You're
But
just not.
now I'm feeling like the game I go back to now is like if I want to like I go play Call of Duty with my friends or something,
Yeah.
or the game what I am shocked at that I go back to is Minecraft
Oh yeah.
because there's so
Love
much to
that.
do there. Like, and I'm always like, oh, Minecraft, let's just play some Minecraft or Minecraft Dungeons. It was like a different take on Minecraft. It was like Minecraft is a great game to like just do for hours. Like,
And it also speaks to like what do you feel like playing when you are just trying to just wind down it and just chill out. And that also speaks into what that game offers to correlate to that. So I would say like games like New World, right? Or even like The Sims, right?
yeah,
They pretty much are games where you're just meant to like sit down and like play and just like chill out when you don't got anything to do really, and you just really want to just chill out and relax and
that game for me
just
right now is
do
Animal
stuff and walk around.
Crossing.
Yeah,
I'm kind of addicted to it. Like,
yeah, that happens.
I
Happens.
play Animal Crossing every day, trying to fix up my island.
Just like my sister did the same thing. Like just like just on that thing so much. But
And the great
yeah,
thing about Animal Crossing, I could play that for either 10 minutes or like past 2 hours. Like
hmm
it's that easy with Animal Crossing because you
yeah,
don't really have to do that much to play, but you can like you could pick a day and spend like a whole bunch of time like just doing any tasks that you want. Like, do you want to build this? Do you want to like just fish? Like, do you want to go pick flowers all day? Like, it's whatever you want to do. That's what makes the game so like relaxing and fun.
Exactly. That's my point exactly. Like it's one of those things you can just chill out, relax, and just have fun.
Yeah,
Essentially,
those
just kill
games with
some
no
brain.
sense of urgency.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I think Sims are. Which, by the way, I ended up purchasing Sims 4.
You got Sims 4?
Yeah, I went and got Sims 4 while it was on sale on Steam. It is also still on sale on like Origin though
Hmm.
and all that.
Interesting, interesting. I always wanted to
I
play Sims. I just never
it
got around to buying it.
it is very fun, but I will also say this, like again with some games like this where they've gotten to the DLC craze, and that is the biggest truth of it all with Sims. DLCs, which is another thing with games where they tend to attach a lot of additional content and it leaves the buyer wondering, is it really worth for me to get all these DLCs? Is it necessary? Should this just come with the game? Sims is one of those games that unfortunately thrives off of DLCs.
That's
Like
a big thing with games now.
I remember one. I think like what one person I saw comment on Steam and their dislike for it. It was the fact of like if you were to add up their DLCs right now for Sims 4, it may come up to $900.
Yeah, because like a lot of games now, like speaking of like newer games, like they don't make money off of the purchase of the game. They make money off of
Yeah,
the end game purchases.
yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
especially if a game is if someone's enjoying that game, they're gonna want
Mhm.
more of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like but now, I will say this: do I agree that it may come over $900? No, cause I didn't count myself. So, but at the same time, I do know for a fact that it will cost a pretty penny because I've seen some of their DLCs, and now, granted, it's on sale now. You know, Lunar New Year. Happy Lunar New Year, by the way.
Happy
But
Lunar
yeah,
New Year.
but yeah, like it's a Lunar New Year sale, and some of them are like 50% off, some are like 30, whatever it is. But when I look at the actual pricing, it's insane. Like you got one DLC that costs like 30 something, and mind you, the game itself costs about 49.
You also see that with a lot of free games. Like
Mhm.
when especially free games, like they go and make their money off of the in-store purchases.
Oh yeah.
Fortnite,
Oh,
Fortnite,
Fortnite got it down.
100%.
Like, honestly, I think Fortnite has figured out the formula. Honestly, with like staying consistent and just continuously drawing in people to play it forevermore.
You could ask a casual player, like, how much did you pay for Fortnite? I bet you they all say a bunch of money, but it would not be for the story mode.
Hmm.
Yes, guys, it's a story mode for Fortnite.
Yes, there is. There
If you
actually is a
didn't
story mode.
know, there's a
There's
story
a
mode.
PVE. There's a PVE section for Fortnite. I know that because I was one of the first people who bought the damn thing. Like I remember that. That was the main thing I played, the PVE section. Like at this point in time, I was not big on PvP, mainly because particularly if it involved me shooting, like shooting, like essentially in shooter games in general. I was absolutely bad at it. Different now, but at that point, abysmal at it, terrified of it, didn't play it, so I just stuck with PVE. PVE wasn't bad till it got overshadowed by just playing PVE. I mean, PvP. Like that's essentially what Fortnite got known for. No one cared about the story. You could ask so many people about the story. A lot of them probably wouldn't even know about it. The only thing they'll know about the story is the plot synopsis going on in the PvP section where you actually gotta go in battle royale and stuff like that. Like they'll know the plot line that's supposed to be going on there now because you had the trailer and all that stuff for it. But then they forget about what's going on in game. Like so, it's like in PVE, like which was initially what was the story there, what that was building
Yeah,
from there. So yeah, it does. Yeah, so that's one of the
because
things. And
Fortnite never promoted their story or PV.
I mean, they were promoting. They were promoting for a
Where,
while. I mean, well,
where,
all right. So when it
where?
started, it was promoting. It was promoting, but then after a while, it wasn't really promoting
They'd be like,
afterward.
"Oh, we got the battle royale." Oh yeah, and, story mode. Yeah.
Eventually, the Battle Royale came out. Yeah, the Battle Royale came out, and that's what they started to push. And they saw so many people gravitate towards that, they just kept pushing that.
And they ran with it by adding
Yeah.
modern dance moves and modern skins and
And
everything
I
like
will
that.
say, and then people ask, how did a kid when they had the Fortnite tournament, right? when how did the kid end up coming out winning $1 million cash prize when he won it when no other video game tournament had that kind of prize money already? Think about it now. Just ask yourselves how much money is spent on Fortnite. If you see the content that's on there, you really don't have to ask how $1 million cash prize was readily available.
Exactly. They make a whole bunch of money from these kids, and these kids going to their parents and be like, "Yo, I want this skin," and then they buy the V Bucks for it.
Yeah,
Buy the
like
battle pass. Like you have to
yeah,
pay for the battle pass to get
exactly.
all the stuff. Like, and that's another thing. A lot of these new games, like they have battle passes now.
Oh yeah,
Ton of battle passes. Ton of battle
whole lot of
passes.
games have it now. Yeah, because that's the thing, like where you can earn like certain special loot and stuff that may be rare that you can't really get by
Exactly.
just simply buying it.
And
You
all
have
battle
to pay.
passes is like $10 and up. Like
Hmm.
now, imagine like million people buy a $10 battle pass. That
And
is
remember,
revenue.
now remember, the whole idea, right, is that with with the battle pass, technically I can earn back the money I spent on it, right? Like that. Now this is definitely true. Like for example, Apex Legends, right? You spend money on the battle pass, right? The regular battle pass, not
Yeah.
one where you boost your level. Like you get like a few extra levels. No, regular battle pass. Buy
Yep.
that, right? Technically, if you finish the whole battle pass, right, you have made back your money's worth on what you spent. Like
That's the
literally,
idea of it.
yeah, you can literally go back and use that same cash and like spend on the battle pass again, free of charge, right? Sounds like an awesome idea, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, stop your cap right there. Stop the bullshit. So I say this why? Because midway, which was a growing trait now with Apex, they'll have something mid-season, like a mid-season event. They'll have two now, like certain little events in between where you would have to buy more. Like it's trying to see if you're willing to buy these these new skins, these new features, like all these new emotes, and they're particular too. These are not skins you're gonna just find just because in the
Yeah,
store.
you're
Like
not going to just unlock it.
yeah,
You're going to have to
you're gonna have
pay
to
for it
buy it.
because they're exclusive.
Exactly, they're exclusives, and I'll be honest, some of them are very nice. And I'll also admit I have fallen victim to buying a lot. I will admit that I have a lot. See me for Octane. I have a lot of skins. So yeah, like I've done that for sure, and that is
I've
my
done it
whole
for
point
Call
here.
of Duty
Yeah,
because
and
they
then
know
that's
like the
fine.
hardcore gamer for that game, they're going to want the skins. They're going to
Exactly.
want to look cool. They're going to want to play the game. They won't want to put money into the game.
So you'll sit here talking about, oh hey, so I'm gonna go ahead and put down $10 for this game, and I'm not gonna have to spend much. It's all easy. Like I can just get loot. No, 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 sir. You're gonna want skins, so you're gonna put another. You're gonna see some exclusive out there. You're gonna see packs, like exclusive packs in the store, because sometimes they'll have featured stuff in the store to buy, and
Yeah.
you have a set amount of time to buy it before it expires and rotates to something else. So you're gonna put money in again and again. So
You see, oh yeah, another game you see that was the game that I like to play is Magic Arena, and why I stopped playing Magic Arena is because you Magic Arena is
mhm.
100% pay to win. There is no way you're going to build a good deck without buying packs on top of packs on top of packs to get the cards
And
that
the
you need.
funniest thing about that is that you're already stuck in doing that. If you play this, like in real life, obviously, like
Yeah,
you're digging outside from like online, you're going in person playing with
yeah,
people, and you gotta build your deck. You're gonna be doing the exact same thing. Not to mention, it's gonna cost you more.
exactly. Exactly.
So
That's why I
it's
stopped because I play tabletop, and then to go into like arena, the online thing, I'm basically playing twice. Like I'm not paying twice to get the same cards for
now.
digital and tabletop.
Exactly. Now, no, no. Again, this is to clarify. We are not saying that MGD Arena doesn't, no, like requires you to pay all the time to get what you want. Right? You can still play the game without having to really put money into it at
100%.
all.
You can play the
100%.
game. You can play the game without putting any money into it.
Yeah.
You have that option. You do not have to put money into
Yeah.
Magic Arena. But if
Yeah.
you want to get good in Magic Arena,
If you're
You
trying to become this person that just wants to stomp people out, and you are not really looking to buy the actual cards,
not to
which
mention
I'll
that
be honest is
sometimes you
weird.
have
But
to pay to get into tournaments.
yes. Oh, that is
So
true.
if you want to be competitive in something like Magic, you're not just you have to pay for the decks to win. You're
Yeah.
not going to come in there with a janky deck and go pay into a tournament and expect to come out into the top 8. If you
Yeah.
do, please train me because I'm looking to become that
That,
good. But
but yeah, but and again, and then to clarify, not just for Magic, for MTG Arena, but for all these games we mentioned. Like, yes, granted, now we're not like we did mention that. Yeah, there's a lot of big cash grabs here in these games,
yeah.
but we're not trying to say that ultimately you must pay for these things. No, you can easily decide not to.
Mhm.
Like, let's remember that. Like,
The
I'll
choice is
I'll
yours.
how you remember that. Like, yeah, the choice is definitely yours, definitely yours.
I
But
like you and I want you. Oh no.
yeah, no, 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 sir, no. But like, yeah, like you have the choice to go ahead and buy these games. No one's telling you that you have to. You have the option to simply just ignore all these big time purchases every time. You do. However, sometimes that's just not going to work. We know ourselves. The human mindset can only work to a
Big
certain point.
companies know that you know
Yeah.
that
And if you're
you are
into a
going to
game,
pay.
and when you're into a game, you put so many hours into a game,
You
and
want to
that's
be rewarded for it,
yes, you want to be rewarded, and that's another thing too. You base your decision to put money on the game based on how many hours you put into it.
which is ugly.
Sometimes you will just buy something because it's cool and you want to say you have the skin.
Mhm.
I do admit that too. But
Yep.
the main thing, the primary objective that comes to your mind is like, all right, how much hours have I put into this game? How much do I really enjoy this game? To explain my reasoning for putting this much money down for it.
And yeah,
That
like
you
questioning
gotta
like
think about.
will how many hours will I put into this game? Like how much do I enjoy it? Like
Mhm.
like like if you're like that's how some people even catch like the casual player who like comes home from work and plays like
Mhm.
that they love the game, but they probably not going to put like hundreds of hours into it, but they might still want the battle pass, which
Oh yeah.
means by the end of it they probably didn't make back the VC to get the new battle
Mhm.
pass,
Exactly.
so they're going to
And
have to put more money into it.
what's even more hilarious that even a game like League of Legends has technically a battle pass.
Of course
Technically,
they
it
do.
has one. I couldn't like when I actually stopped to think about it. I was like, oh yeah, you had to go in and like you had to buy this stuff. So you got to like buy this particular pass so you can like earn more gems and stuff like that. So you can like unlock someone like the chest and content. And then I'm like, oh wait a minute,
Yeah, and if you're
what?
enjoying the game you're going to do it.
Exactly. And I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. This is utter like I was upset. Like I literally got bamboozled into it. Like I thought like, yo, like this is really like a battle pass for of all games, League of Legends. I didn't even think a game like League of Legends could technically have a battle
Like
pass, but here
I
we are.
100% find myself doing the same exact thing. Like I'm enjoying the game. I got a few extra dollars on me, so you know what? Let me go get that gun. Call of Duty does
Exactly.
that a lot. Like, oh, this gun has like incendiary rounds. Like,
Mhm.
ooh, that's fancy. Or this gun has an anime camo on it. Oh, I like anime.
Mhm. It's
I
one.
definitely bought an anime gun. It was fire. It was pink. I
Mhm.
wanted it.
Yep.
Cost me like $10.
I also bought the Agamotto replica. I bought that from Anime NYC. Bought that there.
So like
Couldn't help my damn self. Like I just
exactly.
bought it. It was great.
It all comes down to like between old and new games now. I feel like old games incentivize like the grind and earning what you got. Like you wanted like this achievement unlocked, you had to work for it. Now like newer games it's like more of a capitalism type of thing. It's
Mm,
more money's involved in newer games. And like not a lot of people have the time and to like grind like you could back in the day was for me. I feel like it takes away from like some of the almost purity of the game, kind of a little bit, just a
Yeah,
little bit,
essentially, yeah.
because like a lot of like you keep hearing terms being thrown out now called pay to win, pay to win, pay to win. Like in the past, it was never like that. Nothing was like truly pay to win because like what you just pay for the game and then you play. You go
Yeah.
online, you fight your friends and stuff. Like you just was there to have fun. Now everything is like balls to the wall competitive. Like, oh my god, if I'm going to beat this guy, I have to get the newest item. Like it's the only way. Like, and that's
Mhm.
like where it kind of loses some of its game. Like gaming today loses some of its luster, some of its purity.
Yeah, and it just is what it is. Like you have to stay, you have to thrive, and honestly, as seeing like how these developers have to like try and pump out like find revenue or in terms of like staying alive. Like I'll be honest, like yeah, it is a grind. Like you see some games like kind of stay in early access and stuff like that for a good while because honestly, they have funding for it. They've had people investing into it, but then it's a matter of like, well, how much of that investing that has occurred that will stick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
it's one of those things you gotta think about. Like Temtem, like Temtem is a game that I played. For anyone that doesn't know, Temtem is pretty much like a a alternative of Pokemon, essentially. Like it's pretty much Pokemon, but an RPG, full on.
Hmm.
And yeah, like it's been in early access for a good while. I mean they've raised its prices, how much the game costs,
You
based
told
on
me
how much
about
is in there.
Temtem a lot, and it's still in early access.
Yeah, it's still in that early access,
Ain't
and
no way,
so
boy. Ain't no
yeah,
way.
still in early access. And even Project Zombo is still in early access, and that's been around since what 2013.
Yeah, Scott been playing
So
Project Zomboid for a while, and that's still in early access. Ain't no way, boy.
yeah,
Ain't
so
no
it's so
way.
this funding, people, funding. It's important. So this is one of the ways that some companies just have to try and stay in it to win it. Honestly.
Yeah. So, was there any final thoughts on this discussion?
Well, I
Any final
mean,
answer? Between old and new games.
as of right now, granted, like we may have complained about a lot of like the issues going on with like the games as of now, how it is compared to back then or all the new. But I mean, I would obviously still prefer what's out now because again, it's what's better is it's what's improved and is just how things are. And if if you want to just enjoy games still, but not like where you have to go into payment, you don't have to. It's just a matter of like thinking of the games you do enjoy, the games you do want to go out and purchase and support those developers. Think about them. Just the thing about those games. You don't have to go into what's meta right now. All right, like you don't have to go into what's hot right now. You don't have to. If you like what's there and it happens to be meta, then fine. That is what it is. But you don't have to do that. Stick with what you
Exactly.
like and just deal with it as it is, based on your budget. Don't splurge. Avoid at all costs.
Lord knows I don't stick to the meta.
Yeah, me, it's more of like I just go back and forth with whatever.
I play
You
Call of
know.
Duty. They be like, "You ain't using the best gun." I mean, like, I'm using my gun.
Yeah, exactly. I just go for what feels right for me at the moment, and it's also remember that just because you end up putting down a game does not mean that you'll never go back to it. You could go back to it, right? You could.
If you
It'll
own
be
the
there.
game, you can always go back to the game.
Yeah, you'll
As
be there for it.
like that's with me right now. That's like this is my final thoughts. Is like I would say I love newer games. Like they're great. Like they look nice. Like they in their own what they're fun. They're fun to play, and I like the battle royales. Like yeah. We was complaining about, but like it's a fun mechanic, and like we said, you don't have to pay for the stuff, the fancy toys and things like that. You could just
Hmm.
sit there and enjoy the game. And I like playing with my friends, those types of games. But I now recently go back and I play a lot of older games like Kingdom Hearts and Crystal Chronicles, and I like play on my Switch a lot. Like I like playing older games now. I still got my SP, and at the end of the day, gaming is gaming. Just
Yeah,
enjoy what you have. Play whatever you want.
I fully
It's
agree.
a whole world full of games out there, and it's like games that you'll never touch in a lifetime. Like, so whatever you enjoy playing, just play to your heart's content. If you want to play competitive, play competitive. If you want to just play casual, you just want to play co-op, just want to play with friends, do that. Just enjoy the life of gaming while you have it.
Exactly.
Anyway, I think that is a good way to wrap it up.
Think so.
Thank you for anyone who joined. This is we're gonna try to come every Thursday if possible, but life happens, and this is
Yep.
our podcast, so we make the rules. So we'll hit you up whenever we have something to talk about. How about that?
That's not a good way to go about it. Okay. Uh,
God damn it, Dre, we own this thing. They will listen. Nah, we love y'all.
oh my god.
Anyway, it's your boy IODO.
It's your man Andre.
And this has been another episode. This is Dio Dre Podcast signing off. Peace.
Later.